What's up, soccer fans? Welcome back to the channel. FIFA 750 subscribe, like, share today. We are diving into the biggest FIFA World Cup 2026 headlines, the most important results, the standout performances, and what all of it means for the race to reach the knockout stage. Let's start with the biggest headline of the day. Egypt picked up a historic 3-1 win over New Zealand and grabbed their first ever World Cup victory. This was a massive moment for Egyptian soccer. New Zealand struck first and looked like they were in control early, but Egypt completely flipped the game after halftime with energy, urgency, and clinical finishing. Mohamed Salah once again stepped up on the biggest stage. He delivered the go-ahead goal, lifted the tempo of the entire team, and helped turn this into one of Egypt's most memorable nights in World Cup history. This was more than just 3 points. It was a statement. Egypt kept their tournament hopes alive, gave their fans a moment they will never forget, and reminded everyone that this World Cup is not just about the traditional powers. Now let's move to another major result from today. Uruguay and Cape Verde played out a dramatic 2-2 draw, and this one could become one of the most important surprises of the group stage. Coming into the match, Uruguay were expected to take control and walk away with all 3 points. But Cape Verde had other ideas. The tournament debutants showed incredible composure, fought back when it mattered, and earned a result that could change the entire picture in their group. Cape Verde continue to be one of the most fun stories of this World Cup. They are fearless, organized, and clearly not intimidated by the bigger names. Every time they step on the field, they look like a team that truly believes it belongs here. For Uruguay, though, this is a frustrating result. In a tournament this tight, dropping points in a match you were supposed to win can come back to haunt you later, especially if qualification comes down to a single point. Next up, Belgium against Iran. The final score was 0-0, but this was not a boring game in terms of what it means for the tournament. Belgium came in as the stronger side on paper, but Iran put together a disciplined, compact, and extremely determined defensive performance. They stayed organized, limited Belgium's rhythm, and made life difficult from the opening whistle to the final minute. For Iran, this draw feels huge. It keeps their knockout hopes alive and proves they can stand toe-to-toe with one of the more talented teams in the field. For Belgium, however, these are 2 points they may really regret leaving behind. One of the biggest themes of this World Cup so far has been how difficult it has become for the favorites to simply show up and win. We are seeing smaller nations defend with discipline, counter with confidence, and play with absolutely nothing to lose. And that is exactly what makes this tournament so good right now. Every match feels dangerous for the big teams. Every underdog believes it has a chance. And every drop point suddenly puts pressure on the next game. There's also another surprising trend developing in this tournament. Own goals are starting to pile up. Through the opening stretch of the World Cup, the number of own goals has already become one of the talking points of the competition. That tells you just how intense these matches have been. Defenders are under constant pressure. Games are being played at a frantic pace, and one split-second mistake can completely change the result. If you zoom out and look at the bigger picture from today, one thing is crystal clear. The 2026 FIFA World Cup is becoming a tournament where nobody can afford to relax. Egypt made history. Cape Verde shocked Uruguay. Iran frustrated Belgium. And now that brings us to one of the biggest talking points heading into the next slate of action, Argentina. All eyes are now on Argentina as they prepare for their next match. Because after a day full of surprises, the pressure on the top contenders only gets heavier. This is the stage of the tournament where elite teams have to send a message. They have to show control, composure, and killer instinct. If Argentina deliver a convincing win, they remind the entire field why they are one of the favorites. But if they stumble, the noise around this tournament will get even louder. That is really the story of this World Cup right now. The margins are tiny, the pressure is rising, and the so-called smaller teams are making sure nobody gets a free pass. And honestly, that is great for fans. It means every group is alive, every game matters, and every result feels like it can change the path to the round of 32 and beyond. So, let's quickly recap the biggest World Cup headlines from today. Egypt earned a historic first-ever World Cup win by beating New Zealand 3-1. Cape Verde fought back to hold Uruguay to a 2-2 draw in one of the shocks of the day. Iran battled Belgium to a 0-0 draw and kept their knockout dream alive. And now the spotlight shifts to the next big matches, with the pressure on the heavyweights getting stronger by the hour. If today proved anything, it is that this World Cup is wide open. The favorites are being tested, the underdogs are making statements, and the drama is only getting bigger from here. Now I want to hear from you. What was the most impressive result of the day? Egypt's historic win? Cape Verde's huge draw against Uruguay? Or Iran shutting down Belgium? Drop your prediction in the comments. Tell me which team has surprised you the most so far, and let me know who you think is going to make the biggest statement in the next round of matches. If you enjoyed this FIFA World Cup 2026 update, make sure you hit like, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you do not miss any breaking World Cup news, match reactions, and highlight breakdowns. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next one.